Hello and welcome to my new video. If you're new here, hi, I'm Lex, and today I wanted to walk you through a bunch of video games that I think you might enjoy in 2026. I've sorted the games into 6 lists. Those are audience favorites, which are games I've heard about many times from you all in my comment section this year. Second is underrated gems, which are games that have very few reviews and that I haven't heard about in the general cozy gaming discussions, but that are really great plays. Next, we'll look at a new selection of Oldies But Goodies, games that came out at least a few years ago but that have truly withstood the test of time. These games are worth trying even in 2026, or revisiting if you haven't played them in a while. Then we'll talk about the best cozy releases in 2025. Completely unbiased, of course. I'll go over 10 games you can look forward to that are releasing in 2026 or potentially later, and finally, I'll tell you my personal top 5 recommendations for games I played this year. I'll use the following symbols for compatibility with Nintendo Switch and compatibility with PC. Anyway, let's dive into this year's recommendations. I'm gonna start the list off with some audience favorites that you guys could not get enough of this year. One of the most prolific video games across the cozy game community has definitely been Fields of Mystria, a game that mixes farming, life sim, and RPG vibes into a really cute and engaging little story. I personally really enjoyed this one, although it's still in early access, and I think I want to revisit it when the game is fully released. The characters are so well designed, the aesthetic is adorable, and it's like a breath of fresh air for everyone who loved Stardew Valley and wants to experience that high again in a new light. And of course, you can romance the townies. Next up is a franchise I've actually never experienced myself, and that's Story of Seasons, also known in the West as Harvest Moon. This year saw Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, a remake of the Harvest Moon game of the same title, come to Nintendo Switch. This long-loved franchise might just pull me into, so let me know your thoughts if you're a big fan. Another game I couldn't escape online this year was Echoes of the Plum Grove. This one's another farm sim, but hear me out. It's got one of the most unique aesthetics on this list, and it has this very foreboding note. If someone doesn't want to be friends, there are always other means. You can't lose with a cozy game that has just a little hint of ominousness. Go uncover the secrets of Honeywood and hopefully make some friends by regular means. Or, you know, choose the ominous option. I'm sure many of you have heard of My Time at Portia. Well, now get ready for the new and improved My Time at Sandrock. This follow-up title puts you deep in the desert as a talented little builder. It's your job to craft and maintain machinery to save your town from economic ruin. So buckle up and grease your gears, or whatever it is builders say to each other. If you don't want to be a builder, you can try your hand as a chemist in Potion Permit, perhaps another massively underrated title. This RPG sim will suck you in for hours. It's your job to collect the resources you need to diagnose and treat your townies in Moonberry, and if that's not interesting enough for you, you can also look forward to sharing the journey with a little dog. By the way, go ahead and leave a like on this video if you like dogs. You're also brewing things in a cauldron, so if you've been wanting to roleplay witchcraft, here's your chance. Dredge is another really unique title in that it's a solo fishing game. I think the cozy label is debatable given the sinister undercurrent of this game, but trust, it's mostly a tranquil, relaxing adventure. Your job is to dredge the sea around your island, upgrading your boat and discovering secrets along the way. And you guys really seem to love it, so if you haven't heard of it or tried it, maybe give it a chance. For an actual witchcraft RPG, you can also try the long-awaited Little Witch in the Woods. This game is adorable and the art is so well done. You're basically enjoying a day in the life sim for being a witch. Make friends with the charming residents around you and enjoy exploring a curious mystical forest so you can brew helpful little potions. I absolutely adore the art style and the little critters in this one. This next game perhaps needs no introduction, but Infinity Nikki finally released this year, and it's free to play, so you can try it without any financial sacrifice, although no promises later. This is an open-world puzzle game that centers around fashion, which is really healing for my style-savvy gamer heart. I've been anticipating a cool open-world twist on fashion games for years, and it's incredible to see it come to fruition. Lastly, in this category, one cannot talk about audience favorites without mentioning Tiny Glade. It's been out for a while now, but it captures the heart of every gamer who plays, I swear. The animation is so smooth, the visuals and sounds so satisfying that it's easy to sit in one place for hours just trying new build styles in your glade. It's got a sizable amount of land for you to alter and build upon, and the little sheep are adorable. I've played this myself in a couple of videos if you want to see more detailed gameplay, but I definitely recommend this one if you want a no-stakes, creative, cozy gaming session after a long day. Moving right along, the next category for today is underrated gems. First up is Whisper of the House, a new little organizing game where you get to do favors for the locals and get to know them. This includes cleaning and reorganizing their living spaces to discover some secrets and maybe even improve their lives. The vibes are immaculate and so low stakes, you can have an incredibly chill evening. There are also tiny little pixel kittens and such, so it's a win-win situation. Summer House is one that's been on my radar for a while, and I literally never see people playing it, but like Tiny Glade, this game is purely creative. It's no stakes, just vibes. You can design little homes or stores any way you'd like, total creative freedom. There are no restrictions, so create the little business of your dreams or make your own dream summer house. This sandbox game is perfect for the imaginative builder. I don't know about you, but I love coming up with lore for my little worlds, so this gives you the tools to make your lore come to life. As indicated by the name, Gourdlets features some veggie characters that you can design a town for. Your little Gourdlet friends will utilize the community you create for them, and this is another sandbox game where you really call all the shots. This game also allows you to play in both full screen and partial screen on PC, so if you want your little Gourdlet town chilling at the bottom of your screen while you work or study, you can idle away. Moving away from goalless sandbox vibes, Dungeon Inn is a strategy management game where you manage an inn at the mouth of a dungeon and you have to learn to appeal to separate adventurer guilds. You must keep your clients happy without revealing you're servicing their opponents if you want to keep profiting off of both of them. As a D&D enjoyer, I think this is a really clever concept and it's super cute. Speaking of tabletop games, I'm also a huge fan of board games in general, and if you didn't know, a lot of them have digital versions. One example is Quilts and Cats of Calico. In this board game turned video game, you get to put together a quilt using fabric scraps. The vibes are wholesome and full of cats, and I think a lot of you will enjoy the puzzles you have to complete to score more points. You can play solo or with up to 4 people, so maybe convince some friends to hop on the digital board game ship with you. I've actually made a full gameplay video for the next one, and if you'd like a more detailed look, that's Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley. It's a cute little nature versus industry game that I think would make the Lorax proud. As the title suggests, music plays a role in your journey to rescue Moomin Valley from the industrious park keeper. Also, it has Moomin, so clearly it's worth playing. Lake is a story-rich job sim where you get to make decisions for a woman who has just moved from her career in the big city to deliver mail in her small hometown. Very Hallmark vibes, and there are multiple endings for you to explore that are actually influenced by the decisions that you make along the way. Somewhere between a simulator and a visual novel, Lake is a great game to work through on a lazy Saturday. Our last game in the underrated section is Assemble with Care. This is another one that will only occupy a few hours of your time, but it has a very heartwarming story and the graphics were really satisfying to me. In the town of Bella Riva, you interact with the locals and repair some of their older tech items, from cameras to watches. A little tinkering sim for those of you who really want to take apart a camera, but also really want to put it back together. A big benefit of checking out underrated games like these is that they often go on sale, so if any of these caught your eye, make sure you add them to your wish list so you can get notification when they're discounted. Our next category is Oldies But Goodies. I'll start with Apico, a game that's sat in my library for ages and I think it's ready to be dusted off. This is the dream for anyone who's ever thought, wow, I just really want a beekeeper sim in my life. Yeah, it's literally a beekeeping simulator. You get to learn a little about real-life apiculture and floriculture in addition to some fantasy elements that keep things interesting. This one is set in a beautiful, lush environment and offers a mix of mini-games, actual biology, and resource gathering. You might be familiar with this one because it's really made waves in the cozy community, but Bear and Breakfast surprised me. It's got a lot more design customization than I expected, but at its core, it's a super laid-back management sim where you run a bear and breakfast as a bear. A bed and breakfast. Next up is Carto, another game I've low-key been sleeping on and need to get a move on. This puzzle game focuses on transforming the world around you in order to guide Carto back to her family. It boasts a pretty solid and quirky cast of characters that I think you'll come to appreciate. Okay, I know some of you might be tired of farm sims, but it isn't my fault some of them actually think outside the box. Roots of Pacha takes you all the way back to humanity's roots and lets you create a community in the Stone Age. You can play co-op or just experience early civilization by yourself, but I think this is a charming spin on a popular genre. Power Wash Simulator might surprise you as part of this list, but the cozy vibes are undeniable. Sometimes you just need to hang out for a while experiencing some satisfying virtual cleaning. I know there are allegations about games just being like virtual labor, but this one scratches the brain, I don't know. It almost went in the audience favorites part just because people still rave about this. And good news, it just got a sequel. This one could also go in underrated gems, but Townscaper is a totally different take on sandbox gaming, where you get to form little towns using different colors and sizes of buildings. The structure is totally up to you, and again, there are no stakes. Just build to your heart's content and see what cool shapes and thriving gardens you can create. Lemon Cake gives you a taste of the life of a baker, set in a cutie patootie world where you care directly for your cows, chickens, and plants to gather the ingredients for your baked goods. Simple mechanics and an adorable aesthetic will motivate you to create the cutest possible bakery for your patrons. Continuing my trend of prioritizing the presence of cats in video games, I do also have to recommend Miniko's Night Market as another older game that you should definitely give a try. This one encourages you to celebrate Japanese culture through some whimsical crafting opportunities and plenty of delicious snacks. This is a story-rich social sim adventure game. I hope you'll give all of these games a chance even though they've been on the market for a while, because it's truly never too late to discover a new favorite in an old release. Okay, we're really breezing right through these, but on to the best of 2025. Up first, and perhaps one of the most prolific, is This Seat Taken was so much more fun than I anticipated. If you really enjoyed the challenge of keeping customers satisfied in Diner Dash, I think you'll similarly love playing Is This Seat Taken. Each level is a logic puzzle where you have to find a seat for everyone despite their very picky tendencies. It's really silly, but also really satisfying to figure out exactly where each character needs to be, and you'll experience a pretty good variety of settings, from train cars to movie theaters. As someone who really enjoyed Pokemon Legends Arceus, I was super excited for Pokemon Legends Z8 release. I think Legends Arceus will always be my favorite Pokemon game, but this one gives you a fresh yet classic Pokemon experience of collecting your Pokemon and battling your way through the narrative. Discounty sets you up as the manager of a discount supermarket, but it doesn't stop there. You get to involve yourself in small town drama around you as you plan out your shop's layout and organize your stock. Absolutely love the aesthetic of this game, and it's on my roster for 2026. As of the time I'm making this video, My Card is Better Than Your Card is in early access, but it already offers an impressive gameplay loop. The designs are so well thought out, and the aesthetic is kind of like if Sticky Business became a roguelike deck builder. You can imagine that, right? You get to craft your own cards with stickers and compete in card battles with your creations. This is definitely a game to keep your eye on, especially if you enjoy card vibes or deck builders in general. Okay, so I debated whether to include Blueprints because it wasn't giving huge cozy vibes, at least to me, but it's another thinking game that'll challenge you to solve its riddles in order to uncover some mysteries. Specifically, you'll need to navigate through a mansion of constantly shifting corridors and chambers in order to find the rumored Room 46. But what will you find there? I don't know, because I can't solve it. You might have heard of the 2 Point franchise before, but if you haven't checked out 2 Point Museum yet, it's time to give it a go. You get to curate and manage your own museum, which means discovering artifacts to put on display, but it's also your job to design the layout of the museum and keep both staff and patrons happy. You're also in charge of keeping kids off the exhibits, which is everyone's favorite responsibility. Next up, Strange Antiquities is a follow-up to Strange Horticulture that puts you in charge of a store that specializes in occult antiques. This game also offers curious mysteries to solve, along with your very own cat to pet. That's the main selling point for me, but you can also play if you'd like to aid the townsfolk with your arcane collection or whatever. Seems neat. Little Corners caught my eye because I don't know if you guys have seen them, but little sticker design sheets have been all the rage online this year. If you don't want to try to find one of those elusive little books in real life, Little Corners gives you a digital outlet to explore creating little rooms, one sticker at a time. There are so many customization options, and I enjoyed checking out the different room themes that this game has to offer. Peak is another one that's debatably cozy, but I've had a grand time trolling my friends in this little trek up different mountainous biomes towards the peak where you can be rescued. The different biomes have had several updates already, but you might find yourself wandering through a range of settings, from beach to jungle to Arctic lands. Regardless, you'll end your journey climbing up the Kiln, which seems pretty much impossible until you really get an eye for handholds. Peak is challenging but hilarious, and it's definitely one that you should play with friends. Lastly, a game we were looking forward to this time last year is finally out, and that's Camper Van Make It Home. I already played it through and got all the achievements because I love the organizing gameplay and I'm a perfectionist, so I can confirm that this one is worth your time. The art is beautiful, the settings are very creative, and the camper van designs are adorable. There was surprising flexibility in terms of where you can put things, so it isn't necessarily a puzzle where everything needs to fit perfectly. You can tell the devs put a ton of thought into the little details, and I honestly envy you the chance to experience this game for the first time. Next is games that are releasing in 2026 and maybe beyond. I can't walk 2 steps into the cozy gaming community without seeing the hype for Concerned Ape's new project, which is Haunted Chocolatier, so we'll start with that. It feels too good to be true to get to anticipate a new title from the creator of Stardew Valley, but here we are, anticipating. No one really knows when it's coming, but you can feel it in the air. From the limited knowledge I have on the upcoming game, it's going to be a chocolatier simulator rather than the beloved farming sim we all adore. I trust Concerned Ape to create something really special and unique, so we'll see what he comes up with. I, for one, am thrilled. If you're a part of my community, you're already well aware of this next one, but on January 15th, we're actually getting a brand new update as well as a Switch 2 version for Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is absolutely shocking after 4 years of relative silence about the game, so get ready to dive in and create new rooms in your island's brand new hotel. You can also now decorate freely on Slumber Islands, which allow you to change your island size and explore new themes without tearing down your home island. Paralives was originally slated to release in 2025, but it looks like the devs are really putting in the work to release a solid game, so it's coming this year instead. This one seems heavily inspired by The Sims, so hopefully we'll get a fresh perspective on the home design and community management gameplay that we're already familiar with. Woodo caught my eye as soon as I saw the trailer just because it has such a unique appearance. This one is described as a 3D coloring book and puzzle tale presented in the form of wooden dioramas. I'm really excited to give this one a try, and if you don't want to wait for the full release, you can check out the demo now. Lost and Found Co. is set to release in February and also has a demo available for you to try. You might remember that I absolutely love hidden object games, although typically cat ones, so this game was on my radar as soon as I read that it's a hidden object adventure game. My Where's Waldo and I Spy roots can never be taken from me, and continuing into adulthood with games like this actually keeps my soul going, I think. You're actually helping a dragon regain her powers by finding objects and solving puzzles in this one, and I love the meta story for the adventure. Fishbowl is a slice-of-life narrative game that might have you feeling introspective, explore themes of dreaming, grieving, and remembering to hope. It seems like a pretty intimate little story game and reminds me a bit of Unpacking, at least in the trailer, so I'm looking forward to seeing if that's a worthy comparison. If you've always wanted a hybrid Animal Crossing and Pokemon game, the upcoming Switch 2 title Pokemon Pokopia might just be perfect for you. This is a life sim where I believe you get to play as Ditto, but humanoid. It's kind of like the love child of Animal Crossing and Minecraft, but with Pokemon characters. As a fan of all 3 franchises, I'm excited for this one to come out. We hope to see it in 2025, but it's looking like we might finally get to experience Witchbrook this year, a co-op witchy life sim. Witchbrook sets you in Mossport, a seaside city where you get to attend witch school, find romance and friendship, and discover a truly magical world. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and I'm hoping the very long wait will be worth it once this bad boy launches. I'm not sure how I feel about the character art style here, but I'm tentatively looking forward to Heartopia as well. This is a life sim where you can explore different hobbies as you build your dream home and meet townies. The home designs look creative and promising, and it doesn't seem like a farm sim, so perhaps this one will be a refreshing option for anyone tired of other sim worlds. Lastly, and I feel like I'm going to butcher this name, but Animula Nook shrinks you down so that your desk is an entire world. By collecting sunlight and raindrops, you'll be able to build your dream home. You also get to befriend some whimsical creatures in this cozy miniature world. The art style is really impressive and unique in my opinion, and the character customization looks incredible. And just think, this is only a small taste of what we have to look forward to in the upcoming months. Hopefully, my next compilation game recommendation video will affirm how great some of these games are and even spotlight a few others. On to the final and obviously most important category. Next up is my own top 5 recommendations for games that you should try this year if you haven't already. First up is Town to City, because it's one of the most fun experiences I've had outside of Marvel Rivals this year. And that's not a recommendation, but if you want to hear a few incredibly creative insults while you try your best in a hero shooter, you can check out Rivals too. Anyway, Town to City is a city management game with a wild amount of customization. You can build everything and style it just the way you want, with an impressive lineup of decor items and even a new update featuring little pets. Let me know if you make a town, because this is so underrated, I swear. My next rec is definitely Dinkum, which is funny because it's been on my wishlist forever and I only ended up playing it this year because the devs sponsored a video. Well, the sponsorship worked on me. I've played this game for dozens of hours now, and I'm obsessed with the exploration and the different roles you can try with the licenses that you earn. It can really be whatever you want it to be. You can farm or ignore farming, you can mine, or you can permanently limit your crafting abilities. It's like if Animal Crossing had a really violent Australian baby, so if that sounds appealing to you, definitely check it out. It's fun to fight sharks and alligators. Also, I need to revisit some virtual board games, okay? I warned you, I'm a board game fanatic. My favorite underrated one is Wingspan, which I also own and play as a tabletop game. I will say the digital version is so impressive and accessible though. I love the amount of detail that they put into it, including actual bird sounds for the species that they feature in the game. I've poured hours into this one, and I'll be playing it for hours longer too. You can play online with other players via a timer system, or you can just play the computer to explore the cards. Another game I actually 100%ed this year was Botany Manor, which is a point-and-click adventure where you cultivate gorgeous blooms as you discover the secrets of the manor and unlock new areas to explore. It was far more engaging than I expected, and I literally finished it in one evening. It really pulls you in. The puzzles were fun to solve, and I didn't feel overwhelmed, which I think can be an issue with some puzzle games. Lastly, and most importantly, I am obsessed with Tiny Bookshop. I confess I did mention this one in my previous video too, but it did not disappoint. Absolutely stellar gameplay loop. I love the ability to decorate my little bookshop in order to promote certain genres and customers, and I was shocked that all the books were actual titles with like publication dates and links and authors. A lot of them were real life books, like John Green titles or even classics. Maybe I'm biased as a book lover, but I promise this one hits. Bookshop owner sim that allows you to explore different environments because your shop is a cart attached to your car. That's genius. That's all I've got for you today, Princess. So thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear any game recommendations that you have in the comments. Who knows? Maybe I'll include it in next year's recommendation video as one of the audience favorites, you know? Drop a like on your way out, and I hope you have a beautiful day. If you want to see more games, last year's recommendation video should be on your screen now, but otherwise, I will see you in the next one. I was trying to wave, but my cat has my hand, so bye from both of us.